Live from Studio 1396, Columbus, Ohio, this is Late Lap, ladies and gentlemen. I'm A.J. England. Racing fans, lover of global horsepower and late race drama, welcome back. And tonight, let's talk about one of those moments. One of those shimmering, historic, I was there when it happened moments. One of those pin this on the wall and tell your grandkids kind of moments. Because this weekend, something very, very special happened in Mexico City. In a city with rich history at a circuit named after two racing legends, Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, a new name etched itself into the annals of NASCAR glory. And that name is Shane van Gisbergen, or SVG. I want to rewind the race for just a moment. Here's a guy, a New Zealander, a supercars champion, a road course wizard, someone who grew up racing on the other side of the planet, adapting his skills to tight street circuits and brutal road layouts. And now, in the heart of Mexico, in the middle of the North American Stock Car Championship, he's winning on foreign soil again for a team that has made different its secret weapon. SVG didn't just win, though, he dominated by over 16 seconds, the biggest NASCAR Cup Series margin in nearly 16 years. That's not a victory, that is a screaming exclamation point. And he did it while he was sick. Stomach in knots, pre-race medical treatment, skipping pre-race fanfare, and still he threw down the kind of performance that makes legends. It wasn't just a win, it was a warning shot and a loud one. He started on pole, led with conviction. He gave Christopher Bell, a bona fide contender, no chance to even sniff the lead, and he punched his ticket to the playoffs in his rookie Cup season, all while driving part-time ovals, learning as he goes. Now, before we talk about the playoff picture, let's talk about what this win means. This wasn't just another race victory. It was international. It was cross-cultural. It was Trackhouse Racing doubling down on their promise, their mission to bring diversity, energy, and international talent into a sport that for decades was seen as American and apple pie and Tennessee whiskey. Trackhouse didn't just sign SVG because he was fast. They signed him because they believed in a different kind of future. A future where NASCAR isn't just about Martinsville and Michigan. It's about Melbourne, Monterey, Montreal, and maybe one day, Madrid. You want to grow a sport? You don't just build bigger grandstands, 2000s. You build bigger bridges to new cultures, new countries, and meet new people. And Justin Marks and everyone at Trackhouse, they're doing that with intent. They brought Daniel Suarez in as a flagship driver, the first Mexican-born driver to win a NASCAR Cup race. And now they've added Shane van Gisbergen, who's proving the skill gap between hemispheres is in fact a myth. If you can drive, really drive, you can compete anywhere. Of course, I feel like maybe we also knew that with Scotty Mack and Marcos Ambrose. That's the Trackhouse blueprint, though, and it is working. And it matters. It really matters. Because when a New Zealander wins in Mexico for an American team with a multicultural roster, that's not just good PR. That's a moment where millions of people from around the globe see a little piece of themselves in victory lane. That's a step towards making NASCAR not just big, but universal. This is a huge deal, and Trackhouse knew it before it happened. Don't forget, this was also a playoff game changer. SVG came into the race 33rd in points, 33, and he left with a golden ticket. He is now locked into the postseason, joining his teammate Ross Chastain, who just got it done in the Coca-Cola 600. That means Trackhouse now has at least 2 cars in the playoffs, with Daniel Suarez still hunting a win and sitting 29th on the playoff board. Meanwhile, the rest of the bubble just got shaky, and I want to look at it. All right. Bubba Wallace, 57. He has a solid cushion. Chase Briscoe, back from the brink earlier this year, now has a 39-point buffer. Pretty steady. Alex Bowman also steady, but not safe. He has 22 points to the good. Moving forward, we also have Chris Buescher holding on to 16th with a slim 19 points. And just behind that, Ryan Preece, now 19 out. Michael McDowell and AJ Allmendinger, 2 road course aces, now facing down a fight they didn't ask for. And most shocking of all, Kyle Busch, the 2-time NASCAR champion, now 50 points outside the playoffs. That's not just a fall, that's a collapse. One wreck in a rain-soaked turn 1, and Busch went from treading water to sinking. His playoff hopes now rest on either a miracle run or a Hail Mary win, possibly both. And Carson Hocevar, his sloppy performance, his words, not mine, dropped him to minus 60. He made enemies in the process we'll talk about in just a moment, most notably Ricky Stenhouse, and earned no favors from the playoff gods. That's what makes SVG's win sting for so many of these guys, because now the number of available playoff spot is down to just a few. Just 6 to be exact, and there are 10 races left. It's no longer about consistent top 10s. You have to win, or at least hope that nobody else like SVG comes from the depths of nowhere and steals another gold ticket. So what now if you're one of these outside drivers on the outside looking in? Well, Pocono is next, a triangle-shaped monster of a track. SVG's never raced there, never seen it, but he does have momentum, and that travels. And you can feel the energy behind the number 88 team. Stephen Doran, the crew chief, said it best. He said, quote, "It's a momentum builder. A win, we've been better on the ovals for the past month, and now we've got a confidence to match." They're not just surviving anymore. They are contending. And be clear, this isn't just a win for SVG. It's a win for every young international driver wondering if they could ever make it in American stock car racing. This is a win for every mechanic back at Trackhouse shop who doesn't get the TV time, but puts in 70 hours a week. This is a win for the idea that racing should have no borders. You want to talk about how special it is when an international racer wins on an international stage? It's this special. SVG, the Kiwi with a stomachache, just planted a flag on foreign soil and said, quote, "I belong here." And NASCAR, for its grit, tradition, and deep southern roots, answered with open arms. So pour one out tonight. Maybe even mix that thing with a Red Bull with something a little stronger because the playoffs just got a whole lot more interesting. In SVG and Trackhouse, this isn't just the finish line. This is the starting grid for what is soon to come. And I'm telling you, folks, this SVG deal, this is big, but there was some other news at the end of the race, way at the other end of the track, as big of a lead he had, and it was Ricky Carson Bobby Jr. That's what I'm going to start calling these two guys when they're going to have issues.